In the world I know best, which is digital. And clutter is actually good. Clutter means diversity, clutter means pluralism, clutter means a whole set of opinions which you have otherwise not been able to see or come across. A blogger today can write pretty much anything that he wants. An independent tech blogger, an independent political analyst can, without the support of a big media house or a broadcasting station, can pretty much write a review or a comment or a piece, and depending on the quality of the content, hundreds and thousands of people will see it and have an opinion on it. Internet that way is an ungovernable space. It has its flip sides, of course, but the huge tool it is for democracy. I'll give an example. I was a journalist in one life, and in those days, corporate houses could actually call up and stop a story by talking to the editor and threaten to pull out advertising. It doesn't happen in digital. You cannot stop a story. An independent blogger writes somewhere, the story can go viral in minutes. Journalists go to Twitter for stories. Journalists come to Facebook, to Google for stories. You cannot stop a bad story. I can give innumerable examples. I think digital world has been really, really good for plurality of opinions and democracy, and long live clutter there. Thanks.
Near as much experience or the qualifications that most of the people on this panel have, but I do have, I think, a unique perspective as the youngest person here, so I want to address the question of do we need it from the perspective of a young person. So I think for young people, be it in the United States, be it in Britain, be it in India, when we see this much media, our reaction is not, oh, it's so wonderful that I have 90 television channels to choose to get my news from. It's, wow, all of these people are saying different things. A lot of them seem to just be speaking the opinions that those in power would want them to bring forward. I would rather go on Facebook and look at pictures of pretty girls. I don't think that the digital media that influences us is productive journalism in many cases. I think the reaction of young people to clutter is to go, this is far too complicated for me to sort out, so I'm not going to try. And I think when that happens, you end up with a situation where young people don't form the political opinions that they need to form in order to participate in democracy. And I can speak personally to the challenges this raises for democracy. So as was indicated, I work in media relations and campaign management for the Democratic Party. So as you probably know, if you follow the results of elections in the United States, I'm not very good at my job. We didn't do very well. And one of the big reasons for that was that turnout among young people who tend to vote more liberal in the United States was something like 13%. And I think the oversaturation of media in the United States probably hasn't helped with that. And I suspect that is also true here in India, also true in Britain.
You have a few seconds more. No, do you have a view from Pakistan? Yes.
I found that the proliferation of channels has affected the programs that I can make. And this is because more channels means that the advertising revenue, which funds those channels, is being spread very much more thinly. And that means that program budgets are greatly reduced. Now, there are certain sorts of programs, important programs. They might be investigative programs. They might be programs which are uncovering something that's gone wrong, but they take a lot of research. They look at a lot of time to make. Those programs don't always get the best ratings, so they don't always attract the advertising. But they're important programs. They're very important in our democratic process. Those programs no longer get made. And that's where clutter has really affected what we see.
I'll tell you, I know synchronizing their advertising time. And that really made me fail as a TV viewer. But coming to something serious, which we haven't discussed about clutter too much, this point about digital clutter, clutter in the digital space. Do you think that having too much clutter in the digital space is a good idea? And I'm going to ask each team to very quickly, within a minute, respond to that. Do you think digital clutter is a good idea? I mean, we have on the internet, so